Good afternoon. I am attorney Patricia Muse. We are here in the deposition of Ms. Susan Francis regarding the case at Johnston High School. I am representing the parents of a student. Mr. and Mrs. Jones have requested reparations from Ms. Francis. Let's just get a few things down for the record, please. Could you please state your full name and address?
Susan Francis.
I'm sorry, as a stenographer, I need you to speak up a little bit. I can't really hear you. Mrs. Francis.
Susan Francis, and it is 1022 Apartment B, Salem Street, and it's Charlotte.
In Charlotte. That would be North Carolina.
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Francis, can you tell us what your occupation is right now?
I teach English at the high school.
Okay. And how long have you been in that position?
26 years.
Alrighty. And in those 26 years, have you ever had to ask for discipline for a student in your class?
Yes.
What sorts of things would you consider unacceptable in your class?
Well, at school we have a discipline code, and it is posted in my room. It's made very clear to the students that they are to follow the discipline code, and any infraction, they will be written up and sent to the office.
So maybe could you explain, just for the record, what does written up mean?
We have a form that we are to follow protocol and complete the form that describes the infraction and submit it to the office.
Okay, and to the office, does that just go in a box somewhere? Who receives that?
Typically, it's the assistant principal is the person in charge of discipline.
Okay. In November of this school year, you wrote up a discipline referral form for the son of Mr. and Mrs. Jones. And can you tell us what the infraction was of the school discipline policy that prompted you to write up this discipline form?
Well, the discipline policy very clearly states that should a student be caught cheating, that they would be, that's an infraction, and that the consequence is to be written up on the form and sent to the office.
Okay, so you determined in some method that this student was cheating. Can you tell us about the assignment on which you suspected the cheating?
Yes, the individual had to write a research paper, and we had gone over what is and what is not acceptable in terms of research papers and plagiarism. And what I found was this young man had actually bought a paper off the internet and submitted it.
Okay. Was the paper submitted on time?
Yes.
Was the paper acceptable according to the assignment that was given?
It matched the topic, but it was not acceptable.
Just answer the question, please.
No.
So what was unacceptable? Was it off topic? Was it not in the correct format? According to, I assume when you give an assignment, you said you went over all of the criteria about the research paper. Which criteria, were there criteria missing?
One of the criteria was that it was in your own words, not bought off the internet.
That specifically in the description of the lesson plan, did you give them a handout to guide them so they could check things off as they worked?
Yes, I gave them a handout.
And it specifically said, don't buy it off the internet.
It did not use those words.
Okay, thank you. So for
but I tell you what, it did say that in my conversation with my students, I reminded them of our discipline code at school, and plagiarism is listed in that.
Okay, plagiarism is listed in the discipline code. Did you specifically read the definition of plagiarism to the students?
Objection to form. You may continue.
Okay, let me rephrase that. When
He was cheating.
when the
He
excuse
bought
me,
the
when the
paper off
paper-
the internet. Just
perform, let's just take turns here, okay? And you answer the questions and I'll ask the questions. When you assigned the paper, the day that you introduced the topic and what the students were going to do, was Mr. Jones present?
yes, I believe so.
Okay, you believe so, but you're not really sure.
I could check my attendance book, but I am fairly certain he was there.
Okay, so at this particular point, you're not 100% certain that he was there to be reminded of the discipline code and the plagiarism rules and those sort of things.
I will check my
Yes,
attendance
sir.
book.
Please just answer yes or no. At this time, are you 100% sure that he was present the day you made the assignment?
No.
No. Thank you for that. So the assignment went on.
I'm 100% sure he bought that paper.
Okay, we'll get to that. We'll get to that part. So how long do the students have to complete the assignment?
Well, let's see. It was given at the beginning of the semester, and it was due about 3 weeks before the semester ended. So that's probably 3 months.
Okay, so they had 3 months to do the paper. Within those 3 months, were there interim checkpoints for the assignment that the students may have handed in, so you knew that they were on the right track, and so if they were, if they got off track, you could guide them back to where they belonged? Were there interim deadlines for this particular assignment?
There were probably 2, but this is an advanced class, therefore the students are used to working individually and independently.
Okay, so over a period of 3 months, you gave an assignment, you checked on them maybe twice, and when they turned it in, that was it. They didn't have any kind of feedback as to whether they were on the right track or not.
On those 2 occasions, they did.
Okay, and what form did those checkpoints take?
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
When, over the 3 months from when you assigned the paper and when it was due, you said that they had two deadlines, two maybe drafts or something due. What format? How did you check to make sure that all of the students were on the right track?
I would meet with them individually.
And do what?
Ask to see their work and talk with them about where they were in the process.
Okay. In the first meeting that you had with Mr. Jones, was he on track with the process?
He did not have anything.
He didn't have anything. At that time, what was your response to that?
That he was getting behind and that he needed to get on task and get busy with the
And to
project.
whom did you speak about this?
To him,
Okay, just to him.
yes.
How much of Mr. Jones's grade is this 3-month assignment worth? How much impact does it have on his grade?
1/3.
It's a third of his course grade?
Yes.
Okay. So, say 1 month into this assignment, you talked to Mr. Jones. He didn't have anything. You told him he needed to get on track, and just left it there, trusted him to get back on track.
Mm-hmm. It's an independent class,
Okay, an independent class.
advanced class.
And how old are what is the age of these students?
I'm 18.
They're all
ready to go off to college.
Okay, they are 18-year-olds. Have you had Mr. Jones in a class before?
No.
Never had him. Okay. So let's get back to the assignment. So he had nothing the first checkpoint. You told him he needed to get things together. And at the second checkpoint, about when did that happen within the 3-month period? About halfway through, you had your second checkpoint. And after that, it was just, they were on their own to do their work until the assignment was due.
Yes, they could always make an appointment to meet with me after school,
Okay.
before school.
So you had two mandatory checkpoints.